It's the weekend, so it's time to do a little JD Vance bashing. And so China, full-throated, hates his guts and is doing the absolute best memes you've ever seen. I want to start with this one because I want to talk to you about the relationship between Vance and Trump. Here we go.
土气乡巴佬风格，眼线笔，中国制造，品质可靠。Rustic, country style, eyeliner pencil, made in China, reliable quality.
Okay, listen, I really appreciate that they took the smoky eye all the way, because they know what we know, what we've been calling out for a long time, that he's dying to go full smoky eye on camera at all times. And the Chinese are in lockstep with us in this, because you can just see it. You see it that this man is dying to wear a full face of makeup every day. And he just moderates the eyeliner as little bit as he can. But sometimes when it's an evening, you got that pre-smoke.
Well, you've got to go more in the evening, but he's just so repressed. I look at him and I think, you are so repressed. But so what do you think? Like the Donald Trump putting on his eyeliner, here's what I think. I want to hear your opinion. I think Donald Trump doesn't think about JD Vance. And I think JD Vance actively hates Donald Trump and tries to undermine him. He just sits there like a bump on a log, but we saw in the Signal Gate that he kind of likes to undermine him. What do you think?
I think you're probably right. I think your assessment that Donald Trump doesn't think about JD Vance is probably spot on. And I believe it was Peter Thiel who got Trump's ear and Silicon Valley donors if he would pick JD to be his running mate. And I personally believe that people that have said, I'm a never Trump guy, Trump gets a real hard on, knowing like that little Marco and Ted Cruz and JD Vance, that they end up healing for him.
Right.
And I think he personally loves that about face, that moral ambiguity that they have, that they make these declarative moral statements. I'm a never Trump guy. Trump is America's Hitler. And then they do a 180 and then come back and kiss the ring. I think Trump gets off on that.
You think he likes to think he broke him?
Oh, I think he revels in it. But I also think he always remembers what they did, and they will never be like pure loyalists in his mind. I think it's more about him owning them, than like, oh, JD is this, great loyal supporter.
Right. He just, I broke him and now he is on my ass and on my team. Okay. Here are a couple others that I just thought would be hilarious for everyone to watch.
This just shows me that, like, gaydar is international.
I agree.
Queendar is international. They're not doing this about anybody else and the administration. And quite frankly, Trump wears more makeup.
He's an easier target.
He does his entire face. But there is something so queenish about JD Vance. And I say this as a person who has more gay friends than I do straight friends as an interior designer. So I have been embedded in the LGBTQ plus community, like in my days before I had kids, was always out at the gay bars with all the gay men. And I just have the biggest gaydar ping about this guy. I think the whole thing with Peter Thiel is fishy as hell. And I think his makeover, once he comes out of Silicon Valley, I just think this man is full of secrets. I think he is a coward, that he beats up on the people that are brave enough to come out of the closet. And he, joins with all of these crazy fascist weirdos. And the thing about Peter Thiel, I'm just going to say this. These oligarchs are so fucking dumb because they're so short-sighted, because the oligarchs have to join with the Christian nationalists and the evangelicals. And the evangelicals cannot stand homosexuality. They have spent trillions of dollars, decades over decade, to try to make it out that there's something wrong with being gay, or that somehow sin or unnatural. So if Trump and I don't think it's going to happen, but if he continues to dismantle democracy, one of the first people that's going to get thrown under the bus is out of the closet homosexual Peter Thiel.
Right. Right.
It's just such a short-sighted gamble that these guys made. But Peter Thiel's never lived like in the Bible Belt. He doesn't, he lives in Silicon Valley. He doesn't understand homophobia and how hateful and insidious and dangerous it is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, I mean, Caitlyn Jenner's down at Mar-a-Lago, which I just can't wrap my head around. Okay, what's next, Kyle's? This is full smoky eye. Okay, here's the thing. I think J.D. Vance, in my opinion, looks at that and he thinks, God, I look beautiful.
This is what I believe happens when he gets home from work. Usha to me looks like, and I feel badly for her because I think she is an emotionally abused woman. She looks like a hostage when she's in public with him. She was Yale educated, a Democrat, or at least a normal, independent thinking person. And then she marries this psychopath who sold his soul to Peter Thiel and billionaires and Donald Trump. And he has just decided, I'm an evil fucker and I'm always going to be an evil fucker. I think when he gets home from work at the Naval Observatory, I think he's got a little trunk, and I think it's got his makeup and his eyelashes and his eyeshadow and his blush. I think we've got feather boas. I think we've got fishnet hose. I think we have stilettos.
You think stilettos?
I think we have a full-blown he's dying to be a drag queen. And I get it. Drag queens are fabulous.
Right. They're fabulous.
I would love to be a drag queen too. And I think in another world, he could have been his realized self. China is showing him like, look, we know this is who you are on the inside. And think about this too. China probably has psychological profile on him, and they might have some espionage stuff on him that he is,
right.
He's gay or a cross-dresser or whatever. And so this doesn't happen with anybody else. It's happening with him because everybody sees it, that he's the biggest closet queen on the planet. He's dying to do this.
Right. And he went to the yassified camp of Peter Thiel and came out a completely different person. Here's my favorite. Here's the deal. I think that's what he would love to do in public.
I just want to say he basically does that in public.
Right.
I just want to say that the Chinese troll of this is it's just hashtag goals.
It is.
It is so good. And I wish that the Democrats would learn a lesson because this is the way that MAGA they attack blue cities, they attack blue states, they attack blue politicians, they attacked a very successful, productive presidency of Joe Biden. They attacked where Barack Obama, one of the most popular presidents of my lifetime, where he was born, made up lies. And I wish that we would get a little China in us and just fucking go hard in the paint at these closet queens that sit around and pick on the people that they're not brave enough to be.
Right.
And we all know that J.D. Vance is dying. We're a news cycle away from him popping a smoky eye, and China has brought it to life. And I could just watch that shit on loop. And I have a suspicion that J.D. himself might watch it on loop.
I think he watches it on loop because I think he thinks he looks pretty and he likes that version of himself, but he can't tell anybody. Mm-hmm. Okay. That is our little taste for the weekend. That's not the fall of democracy. Stick with us.